To celebrate International Women's Day, we students of ASHRAE LTCoE Student Branch have organized panel of discussion with the alumni of Lokmanya Tilak College of Engineering, Navi Mumbai. Before heading into our today's event, I would request everyone to devote their time for national anthem. I request everyone to please raise their right hand.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you. Thank you so much. Today's panelists have excelled in their career and have achieved great things in their professional life. Today, they'll be sharing their journey with us and also will be providing us their guidance for our future. So let us introduce our today's panelist. Our first panelist for today's event is Ms. Sandhya Vaidya ma'am. She has completed her BE degree from Lokmanya Tilak College of Engineering, Navi Mumbai in year 2015. During her period in this college, she was a first female GS and president of MESA. She has completed her master in mechanical engineering in France and is currently doctorate candidate of French International Research Lab. I can literally go on and about you, ma'am, and her achievement, but I have to proceed further. Our second panelist is Ms. Sonali Shetty, ma'am. She is IWJ chair in ASHRAE Mumbai chapter. Ma'am has 4+ years of working experience and is currently working in ARC Consulting as senior HVAC engineer. Welcome, ma'am. Our next panelist is Ms. Saili Khorpade. She is a prestigious alumna of LTCoE and has over 6 years of working experience in HVAC industry. She is currently working as senior project engineer in Lloyd's Register Asia. Welcome, ma'am. Our fourth panelist of today's event is Ms. Akshara Godse. She is a product development engineer in Bharat Bijli Limited and has 6+ years of working experience. Welcome, ma'am. Our next panelist is Ms. Apurva Menwar. She is a HVAC engineer in Puja Group of Company and is one of our prestigious alumni of our college. Our next panelist is Ms. Sarmiksha Khatpekar. She has completed her BE in Mechanical Engineering from Lokmanya Tilak College of Engineering and is immediate past president of ASHRAE LTCoE Student Chapter. I can say that she has always been among those people who have always inspired us to be the part of ASHRAE and all these HVAC industries. I heartily welcome you all panelists. Now, with us today, we have Principal of LTCoE Navi Mumbai, Dr. Vivek Sonnapawar, sir. Sir, I would request you to please address our prestigious alumni.
Thank you, Shweta. All esteemed colleagues, ASHRAE LTCoE Student Branch Office Bearers, Faculty Advisor Dr. Kavita, Professor Shweta, and all other colleagues, and student friends and today's very esteemed alumni and panelists, Sudhnya, Saili, Akshata, Samiksha, Apurva, and Saloni. So I welcome you all, and especially ये हमारी जो बेटियां है आज उनको मैम करके बुलाया गया, बड़ा अच्छा लगा, है ना. Sudhnya has become Sudhnya ma'am, and Saloni has become Saloni ma'am. So हम लोग देखते देखते बच्चियां बड़ी हो गई, ऐसा लगा, बहुत अच्छा लगा. Not only they have grown up by years, but definitely their their achievements are enormous. I still remember our association with them. I am sitting here in my office and I feel that I feel their presence around me, all of us, all of you. So really, you have achieved, great, milestones, and you're still moving ahead. So really, for teachers, for any alma mater, their alumni are the greatest assets, and whatever they achieve, it is really it is a very proud feeling for all of us. So friends, on this celebration of Women's Day, I extend my best wishes to all of you, and definitely your journey and your experience and your knowledge and wisdom will definitely help these youngsters, and they will also try to follow your footsteps. So thank you for, I am told that all of you are quite busy, and you have taken time out for this session. So really great, and wishing you all the best, and please continue with this session, and I hope you will pardon me. I'm still in office and have some job in hand, so I'll try to complete it. So wishing this function a grand success. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. It was nice to see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All the best. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
With us today, we also have HOD of Department of Mechanical Engineering, LTCoE, Dr. Jayesh Dange sir, who has always inspired us and also have always think betterment of their student. I request you, sir, to please share few words.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening to everybody. First of all, happy Women's Day to all the women present in this webinar. And I'm very happy to see you all, alumni, women alumni. I congratulate all of you. And personally, I appreciate the ASHRAE team and ASHRAE head, Dr. Kavita Dhanawade madam, to organize such a program where our students will be motivated by listening your stories, your problems, what you have faced and how you have overcome. Really, it is such kind of programs will be many more programs we expect to happen in your future. And I wish a very best, a very happy Women's Day to all of you, and have a best career. And looking forward to enjoy the discussion, panel discussion. Though I am driving, but I'll be hearing you all. Thank you. Thank you. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now I'll request Manjiri Basode to carry on today's panel of discussion.
Thank you, Shweta. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I am a Manjiri Bansode, third year student of the LTCoE. I am so glad to have the opportunity to discuss with all the empowering and the gorgeous lady to have the take the time out their busy schedules and have been present here. So now we are without wasting time starting our panel discussion. So now my first question is to be since the mechanical engineering is a male dominated field, so why did you choose it and what spark did you see in this field? So I request to first Sundar ma'am to unmute and tell us.
Hello, good evening to everyone. Thank you, Manjiri. And first of all, I would like to thank Sunapar sir, Dange sir, and Dhanavde ma'am. It's really nice to see the school or the university back again. I'm really happy to see Saili Akshata in the group. I feel like I'm back in LTCoE pursuing my engineering again, all over again. It's the same feeling somehow. So thank you for that, first of all. The first question that you're asking me about why did I choose mechanical engineering?
Yes, ma'am.
It's because maybe I was always attracted towards physics since I did my +2. I loved to do vector problems and solve basic mechanical problems with structures or stresses, very basic mechanics that we go through in first year. And I found it very fascinating. So I thought maybe I should pursue my career in that domain ahead and see what lies ahead for us. And then I realized maybe I'm not a big fan of mechanics, but I'm a big fan of thermal engineering, thermal power plants, and fluid mechanics. So my career took a turn from there.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. So next time I will request to Saloni ma'am.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Dhanavde ma'am, Sunapawar sir, Jayesh sir for being here today. And it is really an honor here to be a part of this panel. For your question, I don't think mechanical is a male-dominated field. I think it's a male-populated field. So women are not there so much for you all to understand that who can dominate this field yet. But we are changing it one day at a time. The reason I got into mechanical is basically because I clearly failed my bio exam, so biology was not for me. So basically, I got into engineering, and it had to be either a computer for me because that I had a little bit of interest towards that as well. But life happened. Everything happens for a reason. Turns out I got into mechanical, and that was the best thing that has happened. And from there, my journey has been just way up. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Saili ma'am.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. To answer your question, I believe Sudhni and Saloni has covered my points as well. But I was quite bright student during my school, and the working of machines and the automobiles always excited me. And I believe in a practical approach rather than the theoretical approach. Of course, theoretical approach will be there. The application of the theory will be apply in the practical approach, I would say. And I was quite fascinating towards all machines and automobiles, so I chose a mechanical engineering, and it is also called as a father of engineering. So that was the basic thing that I have attracted towards the mechanical branch, and I'm not regretting that I have chosen this branch because I am quite successful in terms of a male dominating industry, because I have plenty of an experience where the women or the girl is been treated like a girl or the women. They're not treated as an engineer. So I tried to achieve a big milestone in a manufacturing industry, and then I have came across with the project background. So let's discuss that one by one. But I believe I have answered your question. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Apurva ma'am.
Thank you, Manjiri. That's such a nice question. Thank you, all of you, to invite me here. And as Saloni said, I literally agree with her answer that mechanical isn't really a dominated field by a man only, and it just literally in our head. And to answer to your question, I was literally a kid who got fascinated and who was literally attracted by the Tarzan movie. नहीं मुझे भी यही ऐसा ही कार बनाना है, यही डिजाइन बनाना है, मैं भी ऐसा कुछ करके दिखाऊंगी. So yeah, I guess that's the movie who like a lot of people got inspired by that and got interested in this field. And secondly, mechanical is the only field where you learn industrial, quality, planning, and the languages which IT and computer people learn. So it is at the top of the field. So why choosing any other field rather than mechanical, which includes everything and you learn each and everything about the like basic idea about the other fields too. So yeah, that's my answer here.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Samiksha?
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for inviting me. And that was a very, actually, everyone covered my point, Apurva specifically. Actually, I watched one serial. Yeah, there was a girl, she was from Rajasthan, and her family didn't allow her to correct engines because she was a girl. So, seeing that, I just got inspired and चलो यही कर लेते हैं. I was from 10th, I did my diploma. कुछ पता नहीं था engineering के बारे में ज़्यादा. Just took that. But that was a very good experience being a girl in this industry from college time. We have to face some nagging, pulling from boys also. I have personally faced that. And when you lead at somewhere, it gets very prominent. But there are many girls, just as you can see, Saloni ma'am, Apurva ma'am, Sally ma'am. So there are many leading ladies in this space. So it's not dominating, but we have to be there to dominate.
Okay, thank you, Samiksha. So my next question is to be, with studying engineering, you have to use hack to thrive in difficult subject. Can you describe it? Samiksha?
I always Googled everything. I have learned major concepts using YouTube. Teachers were there, but when you go to exams, there were no teachers. हम लोग उनसे ज़्यादा contact नहीं कर पाते थे. So YouTube was my guru when exams were near. So I think every concept right now can be cleared with a very basic visuals. बहुत सारे animated YouTube videos है that clear everything. So that was my go-to thing to learn anything and pass every difficult exam. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Samiksha. Saloni ma'am?
Honestly, I sucked at studying. So that is not really that question is a little out of syllabus for me. But once you get into engineering and you start understanding the concept, you don't really have to study it. It is all about just understanding. If you keep studying, I will start finding it boring as you go to a higher level, third year, fourth year, since you start getting more difficult subjects. So it's better if you start understanding it from the core itself. And as such, for tips and tricks, I am not the best person to say that. I was just passing by, trying to get my attendance. That's it.
Okay. Apurva ma'am?
Apurva ma'am?
Yeah, so I believe there are no such 100% hacks which can be successful, but yeah, you can just do get up notes on your notes particular on any topic or anything, and while that while doing that process, you get to understand. So what you need to just have a basic, good and strong knowledge, and you just need to understand, and further you can just write it down in your words, and that's it. Literally, that is literally enough to get in 100% score in any subject.
Okay. Sundar ma'am?
Well, I don't know about others, but I'm going to be honest. I hope you all have studied engineering, drawing, and machine designing. And
Yes, ma'am.
we all know how we do the sheets. So, yeah, that should be the trick one to finish the sheets on time. Second trick, I think, in my mind is when we do our assignments, let's try and avoid copying things from our friends. Maybe actually refer a book and the journal that the teachers gives us. That should definitely help us prepare in advance and avoid us being late even in the submission at the same time. Yeah, that's a genuine advice. Yeah, try to do at least out of 10, 5 assignments on your own.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Sally ma'am?
Yeah, I agree with Sudhnya also. But here, talking about the hacks, to be a very consistent and focusing towards the, difficult subject, which is going to be, which was the best mantra for me to come out of that difficult zone of the subject altogether. And I still remember that if I don't know whether the Naude ma'am and Nimisha ma'am remember or not, to get the A triple plus was my first, the criteria of the assignment. So I used to be the first person who used to get the assignments done at my own, and the whole class used to copy my assignments till division B and C as well, because we were having the common professors for the thermal and the MPC subjects also. So of course you have to be a very focused and the consistent towards the subjects, to be practicing every time. Then only you'll be able to understand, yaar ye kuch nahi hai, this is sort of a nalla thing and I'm gonna do SE. It should be the cup of tea for you. So you have to be practice consistently, and then only you'll be the confident person for that specific subject. So that was the hack. And another hack was, we by God grace, I was having very good friend circle. We used to have a study together in college, at the same time in malls, McD, Copercana McD. So everywhere we used to study in a group manner. So that was a very easy trick for us to tackle the difficult subjects, I would say. So you have to be very vigilant towards choosing your the aura of the friends also. So that was my hack to pass out from the engineering with the distinctions, and I'm feeling great for that. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So my third question is to be, when girls are in the mechanical field, what are the job expectations and how are they prepared for it?
Mm. Do you want me to answer?
Yes, ma'am.
The important thing is that the mechanical, let's remove first thing in our mind that it should not be a male dominated, or the mechanical engineer is completely made for the the boys. So there are plenty options are available in the market at this moment. The girls should be clear in their mind that where they want to go ahead with, whether they want to go ahead with the technical job or the non-technical job. You will be getting a plenty of an options in the market where the technical jobs are also there. If you will bifurcate the technical jobs, you will be having an options in designs, technical sales, purchase. That is again the technical sales, tendering, and what we can say is a quality assurance and quality control, production. And I was the part of the QA/QC and the production for the first 2 years of my after graduated, and it was a really good experience to get the experience from the scratch, and then only you'll be more confident when you'll be having a corporate or the white collar job. So you need to be pretty much focused that where you want to go ahead with, because see like if you are getting graduated, and you can always compare yourself with the IT guys, because they will be having fancy offices and the white collar things, and the AC and everything, the ventilation and all. What we can say is the fantastic ambience in the office, but you should not think about that first. You have to think about the first technical growth or the non-technical growth. For that matter, you need to understand where you want to go ahead with. If you want to go ahead in a technical field, then you should understand that your collar should not be white at the starting phase of your career. So that was my advice. But in terms of the jobs for the girls, you can go ahead always in the project field, designing also there. But again, for design matter also, you'll have to do plenty of the design courses. For that matter also, you need to spend in lakhs. So if you are still ready to pay the fees after 4 years of time to pursue the designing courses, then you can proceed with it. But if you want to go ahead with a fine and dine job, then you can always go ahead in the manufacturing department in order to get the the technical exposure. And after getting 2 years of experience, I'm telling you, you will be rocking in the corporate world. So that was my advice from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Sundar, ma'am.
I agree with Saili that first of all, you have to get your hands dirty. There is just no way that you will not learn without getting your hands dirty. I did my first job as a testing engineer in thermal power plants. I was working with consultancy company who used to do CFD simulations, but at the same time, they were used to take raw data from actual power plant. So I was working with Reliance and even with state power plants, MECB. And my first training, I remember, I was working under the technicians who used to do actual testing. And there was no constraint that you are a girl, so you can't go into the boiler. Imagine standing on top 50 feet high in a boiler or on a chimney, and maybe you do not have proper protection. You will be questioned, like why you are the only girl on the side there. But it's the beginning. You have to be there to break the stereotypes. And unless and until you do it on your own self, you will not know from where the data is coming, how it is coming. So I believe that practical application is much more important. Yes, we do learn a lot theoretically in school, but doing it practically changes everything. And that gives you a more efficient set of skills, which is able to develop your CV. You can say proudly that, yes, this is the test bench I have developed. These are the tests I've done on site. And please don't give me the bullshit of that I'm a girl and I can't do it there. I have been there, I've done that. So just in one sentence, you can stop the difference between a female engineer and a male engineer.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Saloni, ma'am.
Oh, I would agree to what Sanya and Saidi have said. You really have to get down in the field and understand the core concepts, because what happens is when you're fresh of graduate and you're just entering this field, it makes more sense to ask stupid questions than to do it 5 years later. So it is better if you get into these small knickknacks in the beginning and not stretch it out till the end and then look foolish asking such simple questions just because you wanted to sit in an office and work more comfortably. As for what Saili said in design field, it's not always compulsory to do these courses, because I am currently a HVAC design engineer only in a consultancy firm, and I have not done any sort of courses. So what I did was I took part in a competition held by ASHRAE itself, ASHRAE and ASHRAE as well. ASHRAE does it too. They have these design competitions which you can take part in, and if you do really good there, you can put it in your CV. You can show it as a work experience itself, that yeah, I have done this sort of designing for this sort of project or for this site. So you are taken as a person with experience then, rather than a fresher. So yeah, you can get into designing field, but even as a designer, I have to go to sites. I have to do site visit. Today itself, I was in Alibag. I got back only for this meeting. So yeah, you have to get in the field, get your hands dirty, do the work, put in the efforts. It doesn't matter if you're a girl or a guy. Everybody has to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Apurva, ma'am.
Yeah, so expectations for girls in job profile, I don't think there are any differences कि अगर कोई job का आपको apply करना है तो लड़की है तो different criteria है, लड़का है तो different criteria है. So if you are going for apply for a design engineer, that's the clear that you need to know the design. That's an easy line, okay? So and as Saloni said and other respected girls said that agar if you are not going for doing any courses and anything, you can just reach out to your faculties. You have faculties who has done PhD in subjects. So if there are any subject you are interested in, if you want to particularly go for that subject only in your near future, so reach out to them and they will provide you numerous opportunities to add up your knowledge. Yeah, that's my answer here.
Samiksha?
I think everybody covered every possible thing, but I'd like to add one thing as Saloni suggested. You have to participate in a lot of different competitions because mechanical field is quite vast. You have to figure out where you want to go, and how you will figure out, you have to participate in many different competitions. So what you like. So on that basis, when you figure out that in your college time, you have a clear idea that where you want to go. And if you have the expertise and if you have some sort of knowledge in the field you want to go in your college time, it gets easy for you to get hired in companies. So I'll always suggest try to explore every possible way and every possible thing in your college time. So you will have a clear idea where you want to go. And getting a job when you have so much thing in your CV as a competition or as a internship, companies tend to look for people who have these kind of experiences. So hiring gets very easy.
Okay, thank you, Samikha. So my next question is to be, what type of the technically job? Yes.
Please interrupt you for a second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
With us, we also have Kunal Bhavsar sir and Nivedita ma'am from ASHRAE Mumbai chapter. So I would like to welcome you, sir and ma'am. Manjiri, you can please continue now.
Thank you, Shweta. Okay, so my next question is to be, what type of the technical jobs are locally available at your company and what qualification is required for? So, Sally ma'am.
I believe I have answered in the earlier question only, but the thing is that in my company, if you're talking about, typically we do have inspection related because I belongs to industrial services. So in my company, you'll be getting sort of inspection related jobs, like for example, inspection coordination engineer or the project engineer, sort of inspector services, ASME, that is authorized inspectors, which is belongs to a boiler and the heat exchanger and the pressure vessels things. Again, they will be having marine and offshore related jobs available in my company, at the same time in my competitor market as well. And if you talk about the non-technical job for the engineers also, you will be getting plenty of options for the customer services, which is going to be again all commercial part of the business. So you're getting this sort of jobs in my company at this moment.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yep.
Sundar ma'am.
Well, right now I'm situated in France, and in order to find a job here, we at least need to have a master's degree. Master's from either Europe or US, both works, or even Canada, because the engineering degree from India is for 4 years, and here in France it's for 5 years. So we lack 1 year of education according to French standards. Hence, you have to pursue masters in order to get the same degree of an engineer here in France. And after completing your education, I think there are plenty of options. Right now, I'm working with Femto ST. It's a research lab, European level, and we are working in various domains. But I will just talk about my domain, which is easier to explain you. I work on electric vehicles right now, and it is based on development of fuel cells, hydrogen fuel cells, or hydrogen storage facilities. And my profile is basically right now on development of onboard analysis of lithium-ion batteries. So, for example, if your phone it's charging and discharging very quickly, the reason why it is happening is my job to know.
Okay,
and
thank you, ma'am.
just not the diagnostics part, but yeah. If you want to pursue a job which is not in traditional mechanical domain, which I believe right now is the higher requirement. You can find jobs still in design side or in CFD side or simulation sides, being a hardcore mechanical engineer. But when you have, let's just talk from LTC point of view. Every year you have 320 fresh graduates of mechanical engineering just coming out of from Lokmanya Tilak, and how many production, manufacturing, or design-oriented jobs will be available in the market. So switching to software jobs or IT jobs, that's another thing. But as the requirement of current market is for you to be multi-talented or multi-oriented, you need to know some programming languages. You need to know what is AI, why are we using artificial intelligence in various sectors, how to incorporate it, and we have to take subjects seriously. Now I regret, maybe if I would have paid more attention to IEEE or subjects like that, which had more electronics and electric background, I wouldn't have had such a hard time in my research, learning those things all over again. But yeah, the truth is, yeah, you have to pay attention first in what do you want to pursue in the future. And even if you decide to change your domain, like before I was strictly to thermal area, I also worked with Renault in thermal engines for development of their engines in Paris headquarters. And then COVID happened. And then I was like, damn, now there are no thermal engines. We are going towards electric vehicles. What should I do? So it shouldn't block you, you know. You will face problems in life and you will have issues, but you need to have mental capacity and a preparation that you can move forward that. It doesn't matter if it's a new subject. Yeah.
Okay,
So
thank you,
that's
ma'am.
how I'm telling you that there is enormous job possibility. It's only us who is blocking us from getting there.
Okay, ma'am. Saloni, ma'am.
I couldn't agree more with Sudhna. You really have to be, earlier you are not supposed to be jack of all trade, master of one. Now it's jack of all trade, master of none. And like she said, IEEE is a very important subject. Electronics is such an important subject, even for us in this core mechanical field. Surprisingly, even though I am a HVAC engineer, to move forward in my career, I have to become a MEP engineer. So that includes mechanical, electrical, plumbing, firefighting as well. So I have to know electrical, and I suck at it, but I'm learning everything again, just like all other mechanical engineers, because we don't take electrical so seriously. But yeah, the job opportunities in my field are very good. But you have to put your head down, work for it, understand the subjects, understand what you're working on practically, not just what is theoretical, what is in the book, because that doesn't apply in real world. You have to understand how to do it practically in a real life, which includes the budget constraints, which includes practicality, functionality, as well as maintenance. So, if you want to get into my field and my industry, you can get a job as a mechanical engineer for site supervision. You can get into designing in a consultancy field like I am, or a contracting field. You can get into project management, and for that you can do this certification called PMP. But for that you have to have some sort of experience also, or you can do PMI, that you can do without experience. Later on, there is this green building thing that's happening a lot nowadays. So y'all can definitely get your certification in the Indian Green Building Council. For that you don't need experience, but for lead, you have to have some sort of experience. Also, y'all can do this thing called Revit. So just like Sudhya was talking about knowing different subjects. So in a Revit, what we do is we have to know some sort of a design. We have to have some sort of a designing a background. So you have to know few languages. You have to understand the software very well to excel at it. So yeah, you have a lot of opportunity in my field at least. You just have to know what you want to do.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Apurva, ma'am.
Okay, so in my field, I'm working in a procurement field. So what you need to know is all the technical basic details, and a very good interpersonal skill. So if you are going to speak in front of a client, you should be 100% sure about your product, and you should have a very sharp tongue. So yeah, so in my field you can get a roles like estimation engineer, quality and purchase executive, and as well as engineer, and you'll get such a job related in analysis. And there are some trends going on right now that many of people are choosing to be an analyst. In that field you have to be you have to have a degree and plus some programming knowledge. And yeah, so that is literally an interesting field going, well, trending up right now.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Samiksha.
I and Saloni ma'am actually worked in same field. I currently don't have a job. I'm currently focusing on some different things. But as she has actually covered a lot of different stuff, I have worked in HVAC. You have design stuff. In design, there are fire. Fire is a different field. Firefighting designing is a totally different field. Then mechanical is also needed. Plumbing is totally different field. So you have to have knowledge of these different areas. That mechanical, we have some knowledge, but the amount of degree, depth of knowledge required, we don't get in our curriculum. So you have to learn that. So She actually covered a lot of things I know. So just you have to decide one field and get a lot of knowledge about it. As I said earlier, experience different things, set your eye on one field, and then do all the certifications you want to do and get a job.
Okay, thank you, Samiksha. So my next question is to be, tell us your momentum experience and why it is important to you. Sandhya ma'am.
Sorry. Yeah. First of all, for me, every experience is momentous because every experience I have has brought me to the place where I am. So it will be unjust to say that only one experience is momentous. But to be honest, my career began with my first BE project with BRC. So I think that was the first point where I actually understood how the industry works. And it's not just about writing assignments and doing practical work in school. No, you have to know how to weld your own test bench. You have to know how to measure pressure differences or count the velocity of the flow, measure Reynolds number, do basic things. But that's how my interest got involved into reactors or energy storage systems or towards energy overall. That it's our primary need. So from that, I realized where I want to work in the future. So I think the credit goes to my first project, and that's what I advise you, that in your BE, it's an important step. Don't take it lightly. Try to develop a project on your own. Seek advices from your professors. We have a very nice set of teachers, and I'm telling you that because at end of the day, you need guidance, and you can seek guidance only from the ones who have already been passed through the same route, who have already suffered through it. So it's not always that the teachers are there to nag you. No, they want us to progress. It's like we are the treasure. If we move forward, they're happy to see us move forward. Just the way our parents do. That's the second place the teacher goes to me. So just try to have the same kind of respect, and I'm sure you will find someone to guide you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Sally ma'am.
Well, there are many momentous experience I've been through, out of which I'll just share with you a one which is related to my industry, I would say, rather than college. Since I joined the industrial services, I was completely working for 2 years for Pan India and with the Indian mentality. And with that experience, I got an opportunity in my current organization with the pretty much exposure with East, West, including USA, globe of the world. And after that, I introduced into the oil and gas industry, which is related to subsea equipment. And due to some internal documentation issues, I could not move to UK. And that is the reason my few of the colleagues went there, and they had to hand over their projects to me. And fortunately, those projects I started continuously working on with, and I got an offer from my company itself, and I've been recognized and appreciated by USA colleague, and nominated as a global subsea project engineer. So that was the biggest achievement for me till date, and that is what motivates me, and still I'm working on it. And in last year only, I've been promoted to from project engineer to senior project engineer in a subsea equipment in the oil and gas field. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Saloni ma'am.
Like these girls said, that you don't have one momentous experience, or you have money that builds you up to where you are today. So yeah, it definitely started even with my engineering project. So when you go to the company and you actually start doing your project, then you realize how different it is from completing an assignment. So after slagging there for 6 months, for 5, 6 months, for whatever is your span of project, the work that you're doing. So for that amount of time, when you finally get your final recognition, the certificate, it is a very, very joyous moment. And from then on, it is just a journey forward. And like I've always said, everything happens for a reason. So if you fail in something, and tomorrow if you fail in fail in something, that doesn't mean you'll keep failing on it. You are only going to go up. Don't worry about it. As an engineer, you have ample amount of scope anywhere in this world. You just have to put your head down and study and understand what you have to do with your life. So that's it for me.
Thank you, ma'am. Apura, ma'am.
So there are many moments I would like to share, but because of the time constraint, I'll share the one which I have experienced in a college only. So I used to participate in hell lot of activities, and I was a part of a SAE Bahar team where I got an opportunity to went to China among my team, and I was the only girl, and there were 11 boys with me, and I was already new among them 11 among them, and going to a new country and facing new people, that's like a huge opportunity, and learning from them, there is a huge difference what you are learning and what they are learning. Even if you are learning like you are getting in a degree, your syllabus and their syllabus is hella different. You get to know where your level is, and what we'll have to do to match their level too. If you want to be successful, and if you want to achieve your dreams, you get to know, even if you have planned that I want to be here and these are my dreams and these are my plan, I want to do something like this. And when you see other, and when you get to know their ideas, you think like, yeah, no, this is not the only level. There are like lot of dream you can cover, and there are like, when you get to know their knowledge, when you get to know the ideas, that you get to know कि हाँ ऐसा भी कुछ होता है, and you didn't even had idea about that. So yeah, that was the most beautiful moment I have experienced, and I have learned a lot from that, and I'm just trying to be a best competition of myself now, and trying to get on like path and get best out of it from myself.
Thank you, ma'am. Samiksha.
I had many good experiences. I was a very shy introvert kind of person till my second year. I somehow participated in one competition in ASHRAE, and I got pulled into it completely, and I had so much fun with this organization, ASHRAE. I like the way I'm speaking right now, this fluency, I had no courage to do this before prior to that. I don't have any core technical stuff to say, but my best moment was when I had won the Best Female Presenter Award, which our team was the second runner-up in the competition, which was organized by ASHRAE Mumbai chapter. The girl who can't even speak in front of 10 people got an award for presenting a project in front of 200 people. That was a quite memorable thing for me. And I got to learn that in this college with the ASHRAE and ASHRAE committee. I don't think I could have done that if I would have went in different college. So that was my best experience.
Thank you, Samiksha. So my next question is to be, which project you currently working on? Sundar ma'am.
As I said earlier, I'm working on research as a research engineer, and currently we are working on diagnostics methods for lithium-ion batteries. For example, there are different state evaluators of the battery, how much charge it has, how much it has been used, how many times you have charged and discharged it, what is the temperature inside the battery as well as on the surface of the battery, not just individual module of the battery, but let's just say each cell inside the battery, because the batteries which are used in a car consist of multiple single cells arranged in pack and modules. So for each individual lithium-ion cell, you can define what is the localized temperature at that point, and how can you improve the cooling of the battery. By improving the cooling temperatures, improve the life as well as the aging parameters, because ideally battery has to be maintained in a ideal temperature range, which is between -10 to 40 degrees Celsius, to make sure that its life is optimized. So that is the one point of view, but there is also the electrical background, where we measure the impedance of the battery, and by defining the impedance of the battery, we try to identify what is the state of its charge, how many times you have used it, discharged it, and why it is not working now. So what goes inside the battery can be detected from outside without doing or without any invasive techniques or basically NDT method, non-destruction testing of the batteries. So that's my current research project, but it also includes a lot of MATLAB and Simulink simulations because as a multiphysics simulation engineer, we use a lot of different softwares. It can be COMSOL, GT Suite, which AIMSIM, which are hardly used in automotive industry right now. With the help of these, you can do CAE analysis, not just thermal balancing or heat management of the vehicle, but also electrical side of it, like when you're using electrical motor, how its cooling can be done, what are the different current and voltage values inside the motor running at various RPM speeds. You can regulate that using these softwares. So that's my current research axis of work.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Shaili, ma'am.
I'm currently working on the subsea equipment. So if you remember, there are like a subsea skids and the packages which is being installed under the sea. So which is going to help us to, take out the oil and any sort of impurities from the sea itself, and then the work will come across. And the skids and the packages are includes the Christmas trees, not the 25th December wala Christmas tree. The Christmas trees, this is a mechanical equipment. You can Google it, what is a Christmas tree, exactly what about. And apart from that, the connectors, manifolds, jumpers. So there are some, the assemblies and the installation is being done under the sea. So this is again one part of my job, that is the installation. Another part is the inspection. So before installation of these particular packages and the skids under the sea, we need to have the inspection done. So for that matter, we require to do some hydro test, hardness test, and some non-destructive and destructive methods needs to be used. For that matter, we required radiography testing, that is visual dimensions, and so many testing, like NDT has different methods. So for that matter, you required some sort of a certification to witness and to review the documents of part of it. So I'm the authorized person who review and authorize the documents to my client, and that is what the my work scope of talks all about. So I'm completely working in the oil and gas field.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Saloni, ma'am.
So I am from a consultancy background. So we take up projects, MEP projects mostly. So I work on multiple projects, starting from hospitals all the way to IT parks, hotels, malls. So we design the entire building engineering services for these structures. So that includes all the mechanical services, that includes your HVAC, ventilation. Then you have all your electrical services that comes in to make the building functional. Plumbing, firefighting, life safety is what again we work on. So currently I am working on multiple projects, around 10, 14 projects I have. So I have to kind of balance all of it. Few of them are villas, residential projects, and those projects take a lot of time, unfortunately. But yeah, that you get to learn a lot in those projects, because that is when you have to go to the site and actually see to it that the work happens. Whereas in buildings and structures, you have a lot of norms, bylaws that you're supposed to follow. So that there is a little more structure to your working, which is not available in residential projects so much. So you have a good balance of both creativity as well as following the law and all. So yeah, so currently in my entire working career that I've had, I've done close to, and I'm working on and completed a few, close to 30 to 40 projects. So I want everybody else also to be a part of this industry, because I see too many girls in electrical engineering in my own company, but in mechanical I don't have any. So please join our industry, be a part of it.
Thank you, ma'am. Apurva, ma'am.
So I am working in a procurement field. Here I have to handle not just one project, but there are like a lot of purchase requisition inquiries and tenders too, and I have to work on like 10 to 15 inquiries at one time, and I have to talk talk to customer and I have to check all the specification, all their requirement. If anything is suitable, I have to cross check with drawing. And if there are some the queries in drawing or any specification, I have to check with the vendors. I have to contact them. I have to take a call. I have to take a meeting, and if possible, I'll have to go to the site to have a face-to-face communication about what the problem they are facing and what exactly they require. So yeah, this is the whole thing I have to do, and there be a closing dates, and you have to be on top notch to get into any crack any deal or get into any purchase thing.
Thank you, ma'am. So my next question is to be: have you received the best advice while working in this field, Sally, ma'am?
Well, yeah, like you'll have to be a very consistent towards your work because we are the girls, like in a very fraction of seconds, we get scattered. Being a male dominating industry, still today, I'm the only one girl who is in my department. And in my earlier organization, I think the employee count was about 125 or something like that. And I was the only one girl over there. So like everybody used to give their advice, so you have to be always consistent. You need to get those information in place and just keep working on yourself. If you're working on yourself, then of course you will get something better in the the future. So you have to be a consistent and the persistent towards your goals, and never say no to get some or obtain some sort of the knowledge or advice from our senior, because we are very hot blooded. So we never listen directly the advice from the superiors. So you have to be a very good listener first, and then only you will be and then the success will be yours. So you have to be a very good listener for that matter.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Sandhya, ma'am.
Well, the best advice I have received is not from one person, but from many, because I think I have been blessed with good teachers and good bosses. And it is also my second advice to you, that the status quo or the relationship that you have with your immediate managers or your teammates or your teachers around you helps you a lot to orient your life in a proper direction according to the circumstances which are changing around you. So every time I was blessed with a boss who would understand me. During my first job, I was a testing engineer working with all other technicians and male engineers on site. And often I would have been questioned that, will you be comfortable staying with your colleagues in a room if it is shared with others? And I would say, no, obviously not. It's a matter of dignity. I would like to have my own room. And then it's okay if you ask me to work at 8 in the night. I'm okay for it because that's my job. But after work hours, it's my own private life. So you should be able to define the line between what you want to do, and you need to come out and say what are your requirements to your immediate peers and express it very clearly in which areas and zone you're comfortable to work with. That should help you. That's the best advice. Like, never let anyone tell you what you can do and what you cannot do. You should be in charge of what you actually want to do in life and set those rules yourself.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Saloni, ma'am.
I want to say that you know yourself better, but actually the truth is sometimes your immediate bosses also know yourself a little bit. So what happens is, why I'm saying this is, sometimes you think you know your capability, but they understand where you are and where you can be. So when you work with such people, they know what you're capable of and they try to push you towards it. So sometimes it becomes difficult for you, but you have to go through that process and you have to understand why they are doing that. And even if you don't, just trust them for that time being and just try what they're saying, and you'll realize that you didn't even know you were capable of doing something that was never an opportunity for you. So when I became a HVAC engineer, I never thought that I could understand electrical portion, and I was very happy with just being an HVAC engineer. but it was my boss who, pushed me to become a project in charge. So currently, because of my, probably he thought my communication skills were quite good. So he said that why don't you just go ahead and take up a few projects, you can manage it well. So he pushed me to become a project in charge, and I'm managing 10, 15 projects. So clearly he knew me better than I did myself. So sometimes you do have to listen to your immediate bosses and understand that they see in you something that even you don't see. But keeping this, what Sudhna said is in mind is you have to know your limitations and you have to set your boundaries straight. So, if you think you can work for 18 hours and if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. But if you know that you only want to work for 12 hours and you want to do something else in the remaining 6 hours, like pursue your higher studies, do some certification, increase your knowledge, then you have to set that boundary that no, I'm working for 12 hours and I'm going to work on myself for the next 6 hours. I understand that you think I can do much better in my career if I put in more hours, but I'd like to put those hours in myself. So, you have to understand what you have to do when.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Apurva, ma'am.
Yeah, so as since we are talking about verses, so I'll just share one which I've received from him. So he always say that I don't do any difference in boy or a girl, especially now when the young generation are changing and they have like the thing, no, older people can't understand us and we have different set of rules or we have different mindset and they can't really get along with it. But actually that's a no from me, because my bosses and the person over here who are literally 40, 50 and in their 60s, they be like, we know that women can manage both things very well and actually better than a man. So yeah, world is changing and they are ready to accept you in mechanical field. You just need to take a step forward. So I would just give you a one advice that don't just keep a boundaries and don't just be in your mind limit that yeah, this is the world and I can't cross that line further. So I should just be, or I should just do a desk job. I should just be on like do a designing or irrespective of any field or any job. But it's just my thing. I feel personally that you are capable to go on a field too and to have a good white collar job too. So just don't think of anything else. Just don't get stopped by anyone's opinion or your own mindset. And yeah, so just take a step forward and learn and grow.
Thank you, ma'am. Samiksha.
The best advice I received from the job I did, he was the HOD. He said, learn from the technicians or the people who are not engineers. They know a lot more about the things we are going to be managers of than we actually study in 4 years. So they know all the nitpicks, all the small things. So learn from them and be best at it. And then when the next batch of the technicians come, then you can teach them. So they are the best teachers when you want to learn the technical things, and be shameless. Even if you're girl, man, whatever it is, if you are curious, you have to ask. You can't be like, "Arey yaar, inko kaisa lagega? Main ye पूछूं तो." You can't do that. If you want to learn, Saloni ma'am also said that you have to ask. You cannot be like, "नहीं ये नहीं हो पाएगा. I'm feeling very shy." So these are the two best advices I received.
Thank you, Samiksha. If you want anyone question, to free to ask. Unmute yourself.
I have one question. Can I proceed?
Yes, sure.
Actually, I'll address this question to all the panelists. So my question is, as you all know, in this time of pandemic, companies have stopped offering jobs, and there's a shortage of jobs, and the jobs are not that good, to be honest. Like they are not offering good amount of intense incentives. The salary packages are low. So what suggestions will you give if we as a student are in a interview round and we are negotiating our salaries? What valid points can we make to prove ourselves worthy of a higher salary or something like that?
Well, if you permit, I would like to answer.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Well, as a fresh engineer, I would say that there are not that many points that you can convince the recruiter to say that I have this set of experience, so please give me better salary. We are not in that position. But what you can do is you can convince them by saying that I have participated in SAIBA competitions or in ASHRAE. I have written some research articles. I have done an internship which provides me an practical experience, and this is what I have achieved over the time. I also have a set of skills which helps me, like I forgot your name. Yeah, like today, Shweta is just doing my coordinating. But just by doing simple things like that, it will help you to say that I do have those set of skills. I know how to communicate. I know how to bring 10 different people together, make a team, get my work done. These are certain skills that will convince your recruiter that yes, you are not just a fresh graduate, but you do have some experience which can be remodified into their requirement. Because when we hire a fresher, the idea is the manager tries to mold you in the shape that he wants. That's why the freshers are being hired at the first place, so that they can mold it into their own requirements eventually. So you have to show that tendency, that eagerness to learn, that yes, I'm ready to mold in the way you want me to mold, and as well as progress my life ahead.
Yeah, I
Thank
want
you,
to
ma'am.
add something here. As Sudhna said, I have literally applied the same advice what she has said just here, because I'm a year 2020 pass out student, which is COVID bad, as you can see. So yeah, I got a job in 2 months after I just gave my exam. So yeah, there are some sort of shortage in jobs. You just need to have a good skills. You just need to not just have a knowledge, but to have that idea that how you are going to apply it. You just need to convince, or you just need to tell that in front of your interviewees. And you have to have a good connection. You have to have a good people around you who can help you, or you can just reach out to us, who, like, we can give you guidance, and your faculties can give you guidance on this, how you can apply and how you can make more connections. And yeah, this is definitely the basic idea, and you will surely going to crack in some of the interviews.
Yeah, and in addition to that, I would suggest Suhas, like we do have a plenty of time at this moment because we are at home and working from home, and at the same time, you guys must have at home at this moment. So you guys are having so much opportunities on the LinkedIn platform where you can get, plenty of options to get some certifications done. It might be some CAD CAM, it might be AutoCAD, or some project related information, or some business related fundamentals. So you can just check it out and get some certification done, add in your CV, and then your CV will be, of course, the strong, and the approach from the employers will be more in order to get the job done. And of course, if you do have those set of skills in your CV and in yourself, then of course they are going to pay you more. So important thing is that you have to work on your skills first rather than working and the concentrating first in the commercial part of it. Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you.
ma'am.
Suhas, actually, there's not a lot of shortage of jobs. It's just that people are being very reluctant about giving jobs to freshers. Because, firstly, like Sudhna said, you all don't have a lot of skills to sell that you all can be offered a job. They're literally paying you all to learn. So, you can understand where they are coming from. And secondly, what is happening in nowadays that I have seen, because I was the IJJ chair, so I have seen a few recruiters, and why they're not recruiting freshers is because they are hiring these freshers, and these guys, they're staying for 6 months without understanding the job role, without understanding what they're supposed to give back to the company, and they're just accepting the job just for the sake of it, and realizing that that is not what they want to do, and they leave it in 6 months. So the time and the effort that the employer has put into you goes to waste. So if you're going to go ahead and take up a job, see to it that you understand what is expected of you, and only then take the job, because then it becomes easier for them also to pay you a higher amount of money, because you are going to stay with them and give back to the company what the company has given to you. So Suhas, that is one thing that you have to take care of whenever you're applying for any job. Otherwise, there is no shortage of job in the market. I mean, look at all of us. We are doing something in our life, no? So don't worry about it. Just do your engineering and go
Yes,
and do what you like.
definitely, ma'am. Thank you, Salim. Could you please elaborate more on that? Because Abdullah has asked one question, and his question is, what is the best time to change the company? So I guess it's relevant here.
I can't say what is the best time to change the company, but I can say from my experience that I only change the company when I start feeling that my job role is getting stagnant. If I'm not learning anything more in this company, only then I can change my company. Also, if my company can provide me an opportunity, a higher opportunity, to learn something out of what I'm doing, then I will stay with the company. But if they are themselves reach that, that slack point after which you cannot go any further, that is when I change my company.
Thank you, ma'am.
May I talk?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I had a few questions. And good evening, first of all, to all the panelists. As I wanted to know, like, what is the current scenario and situation for a tier 3 mechanical student in the job market?
Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah. Just a minute. Who has asked the question?
I think Abdullah.
Sorry.
Abdul Kazi, sir.
I got disconnected in between. I was driving. Now I reached. बहुत भन्नाट क्या बात किया सब लोग नंबर 1 और सुदना और सलोनी आपको तो वैसे भी काफी लड़के डरते ही थे
नहीं सर मैं अभी एक्चुअली क्या करने वाली थी पता है क्या मेरा जर्नी उनके साथ कैसे हो गया था वो थोड़ा डिस्कस करना है
yes. After let me have just 2 minutes.
Yes, sir. No
So are you are talking? Sudhnya?
Sudhnya?
Yes, sir.
From where you are talking?
From the border of Switzerland and France.
Oh my God.
That's my working place.
Kylie?
From Mumbai itself, sir.
Yeah. Mumbai itself, yeah. Apurva?
Mumbai, sir.
Mumbai. Samiksha?
Kalyan, sir.
Kalyan. And who else?
Saloni is from Mumbai. Apurva.
Yeah, ma'am, Mumbai only. Correct.
Okay, Akshata ने join नहीं किया क्या? Akshata, I think उसका कुछ.
Yeah, she's still in the office.
Saloni.
So she just messaged me up.
अच्छा. बहुत बढ़िया. मुझे तो ऐसा लगा आपसे काफी सारी चीजें सीखनी चाहिए. I am really surprised to remember that you all were sitting in the class and learning. Now you are talking Farad, ekdam manna, first class. We are really proud of you, and as Saloni has said, your parents become so happy to see your progress. The same way we too.
मुझे just I think Sudhna का project BRC के था ना? Yes. From
Yes,
BRC,
yes,
okay. And I think thermal related था, heat exchanger.
Yes, ma'am.
तो उसके साथ हमारा जो बहस हो चुका था, वो मुझे अभी याद आ गया, सुधना का final year project.
और Saloni, you told that you are now handling 14 projects as such, more than.
Yes, sir. Simultaneously, I have to.
मैं तो साल बाद पूरा कंपनी के सभी प्रोजेक्ट्स में कर लो. Wonderful, very good. Wishing you all the best. Wishing all of you the very best. And now, Abdullah, you please continue with your question. Thank you very much, and permit me to leave the meeting. Thank you. Madam?
Sir. Thank you. Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
अब्दुल्ला का क्या क्वेश्चन है? Abdullah?
Yeah, my question was like, what is the current scenario for a tier 3 students in the job market? What are the opportunities for a mechanical engineering student in the job market scenario right now?
Well, Abdullah, I have to ask you, what do you mean by tier 3 mechanical
Exactly.
engineering students?
Means tier 3 means like tier 1 like prestigious institutes like NIT or IIT. So what will be like for like tier 3 students?
Yeah, well, let me tell you one thing. Even if you pursue a degree from IIT, at the end of the day, you might have to struggle a similar way if you don't study during your engineering. And even if you get a degree from LTCoE, you will struggle the same way. It's upon you. What do you learn in your course, and what do you actually know? It's not the matter of the institute. It's the matter of you as your own as a person. How much are you capable of, and what do you learn? Yes, the extent to which the opportunities walk into your way, that varies, that I agree, but that can be now easily changed because you have various platforms such as LinkedIn. There are various full campus recruitment programs going on across everywhere, so it shouldn't change or it shouldn't stop you from applying to tier 1 jobs or get a salary package of a tier 1. If you're interested to work in a highly white collar job, you should get some skills which will help you to get that kind of a job. For example, maybe pursue supply chain management courses, learn management, Six Sigma. There are many courses online available. You just have to do is Google.
At the end of the day, Abdullah, these companies are not here to provide jobs. They're here to do business. So, you have to have something to sell to them. So if you have something that a tier 1 person possesses, so then that is when you will also have the same opportunity. That is when you will get the same salary package. So, build upon your skills. Have something extra to sell that others don't.
I'd like to add one thing in it. As Saloni ma'am and Surya ma'am said, you need to have your resume quite strong enough from the pools of candidates to get selected. I have seen many people that have been part of ASHRAE. They have very strong resumes. They are participating in number of projects and they got selected and they got offered
early in their fourth year itself. So it's very important to build your resume. I understand that being from tier 3 college, you're not going to get 40,000-50,000 wala job directly in your fourth year or like 1 lakh wala job the IT people get. But
you can build your resume in 2-3 years. You can catch up, but you need to have those skills and you need to have communication skills. I personally feel that these are quite important skills you need to acquire. Even if you are introvert, even if you are extrovert, if you want to get a good job with good salary, you need to have good communication skills. So build those skills and you will get a good job.
Okay, thank you, Samiksha. If anyone want ask to any question. Kavita ma'am, if you want to say something.
Not question, just I am very happy to see you all. And actually, it was very nice session and you explained very nicely. Sudhnya, Saloni, Apurva, Saili, Samiksha. एक्चुअली मुझे ना अपना वही बोल रहे आपके साथ मेरा जो जर्नी हुआ था उसका भी एक किस्सा याद आता है. एक्चुअली ऑल ऑफ यू स्विच ऑन द कैमरा. जो भी है सब लोग कैमरा ऑन करो अंदर. और एक्चुअली सुधना के साथ मैंने तो बात किया. जस्ट सुधना का प्रोजेक्ट वाज आई थिंक फ्रॉम बीआरसी एंड वो टाइम तो एक्चुअली हमारा एक पॉलिसी ऐसा था कि बीआरसी के प्रोजेक्ट जल्दी खत्म नहीं होते थे. तो उसके ऊपर मैं एक्चुअली आई वाज द प्रोजेक्ट कोऑर्डिनेटर दैट टाइम एंड मैं नहीं बोल रही थी वो प्रोजेक्ट नहीं करना है, बीआरसी से प्रोजेक्ट नहीं करना है, फिर भी वो हो चुका, कर दिया. इवन आई थिंक सलोनी के साथ भी ऐसा ही हो चुका था. सलोनी ASHRAE की मिस इज फर्स्ट लेडीज प्रेसिडेंट इशरे LTCoE चैप्टर एक्चुअली नेशनल में भी कभी अपना लेडीज इशरे प्रेसिडेंट नहीं थी, तो सलोनी उसके अंदर काम कर रही थी। और मैंने सलोनी को वही बोला था कि व्हाई आर यू टेकिंग द प्रोजेक्ट फ्रॉम LNT, तो इशरे का क्यों नहीं लेते?
I remember.
तो उसके साथ भी मैंने बहुत बहस किया था कि क्यों उधर से प्रोजेक्ट ले रही है। और इवन अपना अपूर्वा के साथ भी सेम किस्सा हो चुका। चाइना में भेजने के लिए टाइम मैं एकदम ये थी कि अकेले लड़की को नहीं भेजना है। तो 11 स्टूडेंट थे और काशिकर सर और मैं बहुत बार उसके ऊपर बातें किया, कैसे भेजेंगे उसको, अकेले कैसे भेज देंगे। तो उनके पेरेंट्स का परमिशन, ये बहुत सारे किस्से हो चुके थे। और इवन साइली के साथ बात करना है तो बताना है, तो हमारा मराठी वाङ्मय का जो भी क्लब चालू हो गया वो साइली के ग्रुप में किया है। यस
एक्चुअली आणि
गणपति वही फर्स्ट गणपति जो कॉलेज में बिठाना चालू किया वो साइली के ग्रुप में किया। और साइली वाज मींस दैट टाइम एकदम लीडर थी और गणपति के टाइम, देन मराठी वाङ्मय के प्रोग्राम के टाइम। और समीक्षा तो पता है सबको, समीक्षा तो मेरे साथ स्टार्टिंग से मींस एक्चुअली पता नहीं था सेकंड ईयर में, तो जस्ट उसको इशरे में लिया था। उसके बाद बहुत अटैचमेंट हो गया समीक्षा, हर एक प्रोजेक्ट वो कंपटीशन ये सभी इसमें उसने काम किया है, समीक्षा ने भी। तो आई एम वेरी हैप्पी आपको इतने दिनों के बाद देखा। और प्रोग्राम हमारा जस्ट आई वांट टू से कि नॉट ओनली टेक्निकल, ओके, लीडरशिप जो भी है वो भी आपके मींस अंदर रहना चाहिए। डेफिनेटली वी विल सक्सेस मींस एनी टाइम। यस, मेरा ये बाकी लोगों को भी बताना है कि खाली नॉट ओनली टेक्निकल, आपको सभी चीज में पार्टिसिपेट करना है। इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि खाली मैं इतना ही कर रहे हो, पेपर देना है, मार्क्स पढ़ना है, इतना नहीं है। इज इट क्लियर? बिकॉज सुज्ञा इज द आई थिंक फर्स्ट गर्ल स्टूडेंट थी वो अपने कॉलेज के GS थी, क्योंकि इसके पहले कोई GS बना ही नहीं था, कोई बनाने नहीं देता था। बट सुज्ञा को सबने सपोर्ट किया और मैकेनिकल की लड़की और वो भी GS बोला तो बहुत सारे लोगों को अलग से सिचुएशन भी ऐसी तैयार हो गई थी। बट एंड इट्स वेरी उसने इतना एक्टिवली पार्टिसिपेट होके सब कुछ जो भी इतना भी प्रोग्राम हो रहा था वो सब कुछ बहुत ही अच्छे से सब हैंडल किया था। यस, तो मुझे वही याद आ रही है हर एक का क्या क्या किया था। एंड एक्चुअली इट वाज वेरी नाइस सेशन। आई थिंक मुझे लगता है कि सबको ऑल ऑफ यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस वन की क्या करना है क्या नहीं है आगे भी। यस
यस मैम।
ओके
Ma'am, you know, आपकी बात सुन के and meeting these lovely girls here, I think I did justice by saying that mechanical is not a male-dominated field. It's just a popular.
एक्चुअली मैं भी आपको हमेशा मुझे लगता है आई थिंक क्लास में बोलती थी मैकेनिकल में बहुत सारे आते थे, मैं अकेले लड़की थी मैकेनिकल में। तो बिकॉज मेरा तो मैं 87 में मेरा डिप्लोमा हो चुका था, डिप्लोमा इन मैकेनिकल। तो वो टाइम तो कोई लड़की कॉलेज में ही नहीं थी, तो मैकेनिकल में आने का तो दूर ही था। तो मैं एक्चुअली हमेशा में से बोलती रहती थी क्लास में, कुछ ऐसा नहीं मैकेनिकल में लड़की नहीं आना चाहिए, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। वैसे तो होते जाते थे बहुत ऐसे किस्से। एक्चुअली ऑल ऑफ यू स्विच ऑन द कैमरा, सब जो पार्टिसिपेंट फैकल्टी भी जो है कैमरा ऑन करो ना, फोटो ले लो एक सब लोग। यस, और आई थिंक फीडबैक का फॉर्म दिया है, क्या फीडबैक का भी फॉर्म भर के लेना है। एंड एक्चुअली आई एम वेरी मच थैंकफुल टू ASHRAE Mumbai chapter and ASHRAE student chapter in our college, and the ASHRAE student chapter, the Divakar Shukla is the president and Ashutosh Singh is the vice president. और एक्चुअली ये हमारा लास्ट ईयर से चल रहा था कि हमारा पैनल डिस्कशन करना है, तो अभी ये मौका मिल गया कि इंटरनेशनल वुमेन्स डे पे हम हमारा पूरा एल्यूमिना को बुलाएंगे और एक पैनल डिस्कशन कर देंगे। एंड एक्चुअली इट वाज वेरी नाइस सेशन। And Preeti Chauhan is the ISHRAE president. Okay, both chapters we have, ASHRAE as well as ISHRAE, and ASHRAE is also means चालू है उसमें। तो इस ये अपना प्रीति is the ISHRAE president and Divakar Shukla is the ASHRAE president. And अपने कॉलेज में एक्चुअली थर्ड टाइम, फर्स्ट सलोनी, देन समीक्षा एंड देन प्रीति। Okay. Yes.
Conjugative time.
Yeah.
Girl is heading.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So now I don't think there are any more questions here. So we are moving towards the end of session. It was a really lovely session, and I must say, I really like the line Saloni ma'am said that mechanical is not a male-dominated field; it is a male-populated field, and I can see it clearly. Like the ladies we are listening to, all our ladies here, our faculties are all ladies, and they have done wonderful job in their life. They have achieved great many things, and I'm really grateful to be part of this meeting today. And I'm sure all of us learned so much from this panel discussion, and we'll use that knowledge to excel in our careers too. And I would like to thank all of you for being here, and I would like to thank our panelists for taking out time of their busy schedules and share their knowledge and experience with us. Thank you so much. On that note, I would say this meeting is over, and the certificates for this meeting to the panelists will be mailed to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For me, honestly, it was a great pleasure to meet everyone from school back again, from university.
We were about to share the certificates on the screen, right? Are we not sharing that?
We can do that. Ashutosh, please share the screen.
सुहास नाउ उनको मेल कर दो जो भी सर्टिफिकेट्स है वो.
Yes, ma'am, we'll do that.
I think mail ID. Yes. You are having mail ID. सबका mail ID है ना?
Ma'am, we'll ask them to drop in the WhatsApp group.
Okay, no problem. I'm very thankful to all panelists, speakers जो भी रहेगा, और मुझे बहुत ही खुशी मिली कि आज हम बहुत दिन से सोच रहे थे कि एक पैनल डिस्कशन करना है और आज ये मौका मिल गया. आई एम वेरी हैप्पी.
Same here, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for having us here.
हाँ, बहुत दिन से.
Thank you.
वो अक्षदा ने खाली.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. फोटो लिया है ना सबने? फोटो लिया है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone. Best of luck.
Bye, everyone. Wish you a good evening.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good evening. Bye.
Thank you to all.
Bye.